today we're going to talk about how we can design our Shopify store for success, right? So basically, if you are lost and you do not know how to design your Shopify store for success, then I would suggest that like me, I would suggest that you take a walk in a shopping mall that is closest to you, your neighborhood mall, and see for yourself how does the shops market themselves, right? Basically, how does the shop market themselves? As you can see, the flyers here, you know, how do they write the messages? How do they write the messages? Does the message appeal to you, right? These are the basic steps. These are what we call marketing 101. YouTube channel, right? So basically what I did was previously there was a lot of Facebook Live that was done in this group, so I actually consolidated all of them into my YouTube channel so that it can form as an archive in this group, and for people that are learning about e-commerce, they can actually chance upon all these videos. There are various topics: marketing, SEO, and how you structure your store, right? So without further ado, let's dive into the topic today. How can you structure your store for success? A lot of people don't realize about dropshipping is this, right? You have to treat it like a business. You don't think that, you know, you just get it from AliExpress and, you know, drop ship and it's very simple. A lot of people don't realize that if you're not able to get the reliable supplier, you'll be screwed in terms of customer support. So do your due diligence. If you are doubtful of the supplier's delivery time and service, order a product for yourself and see. At least the range of products that you are selling, at least you try to order one product from the supplier. I know it's not possible to order every single product because it's cost, and for a newbie to start off, that's a lot of cost. But ideally, you should order the product that you're selling so that you know what are the features. But as a bare minimum, you need to order at least one. Then you know of the quality and the service time. Or if you want to do a quick check, what you do is you message them and ask them about the inquiry of the product and see how fast they reply you. That is somewhat an indication of how their service level is like, right? So once assuming that you have chosen the supplier or you have chosen a couple of suppliers, then it's time to set up your store. When you set up your store, you need to set it up like a shopping center, right? Or like a department store. When you walk in, it is properly organized in the various departments or the various purposes that people will buy. So for example, if you're selling all the men's fashions, then there will be a section for cufflinks, there will be a section for tie pins, there will be a section for ties, there will be a section for shirts, there will be a section for pants, there will be a section for basically belts, right? So how do you structure it? Is basically, imagine Google walk into your store, right? You need to tell Google what you're selling. That is very important. You need to tell Google what you're selling so that Google will know when they crawl. So it's part of the SEO process, right? When you set up your store, when you import from AliExpress, first thing to do is to change the product name, change the product description, make it something beneficial that people will buy. So basically, when you write your product description, you need to make sure that it is in the lingo of your customer that want to buy. Right? So basically, there is a tendency to sell features, right? This product is, you know, plastic, is durable and all that. Try to resist that, or try to write the features in terms of benefits, because ultimately people look at benefits when they buy. So when you write your product description, you need to write as benefits. And then the way you structure your store, basically you need to have sections, or in SEO we call it silo, S-I-L-O. S-I-L-O basically is a grouping of related products together in a category, and the category tells is a further write-up of what the product is. So by having effective silo or product category and having the products in the relevant category, you see there's two ways that you can structure your store if you are selling men's fashion. The other thing is you can sell men's fashion as in things are on discount and things are not on discount, that kind of thing, that kind of category. Or you can say that, you know, men's fashion, there are ties, there are cufflinks, there are tie pins, or maybe tie and tie pins grouped together into one category called ties. So if people are searching for ties, most likely they are searching for tie pins. So you can get away with that in a way, because it's still relevant, right? So then you structure yourself like, you know, ties, shirts, pants, belts, that kind of thing. So when Google comes in, Google knows that you are building an authority in terms of men's fashion, right? And Google will reward you in terms of Google will actually crawl your site, and over time Google will know that your site is related to men's fashion, and then you can have a discount section. So if you are organizing a product as in those are on discount and those are not, you're not making use of the categories. And by not making use of the categories, you make the consumer harder to find your product, and you also make Google harder to find your product, right? So that is categorization. That the next thing is you need to have the content that is friendly. The content has to be friendly, and you need to, when you have social media like you have Facebook page and all that, you need to write content that is benefits, rather than saying, you know, I have this men's shirt for sale. You know, you write in terms of why this men's shirt is the latest fashion and why you should get it, you know, and then a link to your store. It makes it a little bit more effective, especially when you're running ads. And also don't focus on only Facebook ads alone, right? Facebook ads alone, you need to explore, you need to diversify, you need to use Pinterest, you need to use, you know, even YouTube, right, to have your products on YouTube, because YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And in the consultancy business that I'm in Singapore, I noticed that a lot of businesses are not, and that is leaving money on the table, because once you have a listing on YouTube, it makes you easier to rank on Google, right? So pay attention to this. Pay attention to the big stores in your niche. What kind of products are they selling? How are they writing their description? Pay attention to the top sellers in Amazon of your niche. See how they write it, you know. And also, it is important to get customer testimonials, so that other customers, when they read the customer testimonial, they will be able to buy your product, right? So I hope that these short tips will be able to help you. And also, as a newbie, as the last point, what do you sell? What do you sell as a newbie, right? What do you sell as a newbie? Basically, for me, if I'm a newbie, I would try to sell things like anything that doesn't have sizing issues. So I wouldn't go into selling shoes, I wouldn't go into selling clothes, especially clothes, right? If you're drop shipping from AliExpress, AliExpress is Asian size. And if your market is European or American market, you will have a problem, or you will have a support issue in terms of they are trying to tell you, you know, the size mapping and all that. So you end up ding-donging a lot of all these support sizing issues. So what is safe to sell? You can sell like things like scarf, you know, brooches, you can sell like watches, but watches is overdone. So you need to research. Like for example, if you think that like years ago, right, there is a popularity of skull, skull. So maybe you can set up the skull shop, right? The skull shop selling all skull related stuff. All right, I mean, this is just an example. So the skull shop selling all skull related, you can sell skull belt, skull scarf, skull wrap around skirt. So wrap around skirt is okay to sell because it doesn't really have a size, because it's just wrap around, right? So it's like one size fits all, and then you just wrap around, right? So this kind of things, I would strongly recommend newbies not to sell things with sizing issue that you end up having to basically have to support the sizing issue. So I'm gonna end this Facebook live here. I hope that it has been very beneficial to you. Thank you very much for watching.